gotta do a water pump. You guys see this a bunch before. You know, like I've done a bunch of these water pumps. But we're gonna do another one. So this one's off of the 115, Mercury 115. Like in late 80s. Being inline 6. And they're pretty simple. If the tube comes out with it, make sure you put the tube back up in the engine. And because when you go to reinstall it without that, it's going to be a real kind of booger. So I'd say go ahead and put it back up in there before you start. But it's pretty straightforward. Let's see here. You know, it's all. Let's see what is this? Yeah, it's like this one's kind of weird. But it's this is the one like eyeball, but it's like a 5/16 right here. And I'm gonna use my zip gun because I just want to do it fast. And you can get the tube out of the way. It's going the wrong way. Hopefully our base is not stripped out. Alright, so that's a 5/16. And I think we're 3/8 or 7/16. And then it'll be a 1/2 inch in the front. Whoa! Don't drop your thing down in there. Well, crap. You know, it'd be a nut and a washer on all sides. I go ahead and get the washers off because when this comes up, it's going to be kind of a pain. And then now we're going to go to a 1/2 inch socket. I won't use this to put it on, but I usually getting it off. And this is a 1/2 inch washer. And then we got this little rubber piece right here. So I just hose it down. I just lubricate the shaft good because you're gonna have to clean it anyway. And you know, probably really like this PB blaster is better. I'll let it just kind of soak in before I wipe it down. Go ahead and get this little rubber piece off. See, it just kind of pulls all that out of there anyway. That's not bad. This was a working water pump, by the way. It's just he just bought this engine, and so he wanted to go ahead and know and have a good water pump on it that he knows is a good water pump. If that makes sense. In other words, he bought it. He didn't put this water pump on. Somebody else did. So usually sometimes if they're old, They may or may not have prying points, but usually, you know, just pull up on it and it'll pop out of there. If it doesn't, you may have to pry on it, but see, it just, and like I said, it was working. It was a working water pump. And there's the impeller, and it comes off, and you know, it's stiff, it's got memory, it's old. Go ahead and get rid of that. And our keyway we're going to keep, but we got a new keyway coming, or I already have it. So take this off, and we'll take this plate off. And I, for the life of me, I can't remember what I have for sometimes if you, there you go. So I get this plate off. That should be in our kit. And then there's a just gasket, you know, is in our kit too, so we can just tear it off, it don't matter. Throw it away. And sometimes, like on the edge there, you just have to get, like, I've got a gasket scraper in there I can get. But you got to get all this excess material. Make sure you get all that gasket material off, even though it will seal. But like I have a little scraper deal. You know, it's like just a Harbor Freight gasket scraper. Just gotta get your peepers down there and make sure you're getting everything. And you know, if you would need to replace this seal, then you gotta obviously take this as the next thing to come out. Not super hypercritical, but you know, I like to take and get my air compressor and blow all that out, and I'll get me a rag and kind of hold it, because I got a bunch of debris in here. Can't see it, but it's over here. Trust me. This is what goes all the way down. Normally you would have like a location for your speed temperature. So this is going to be pretty bad. I'm just going to blow in this area then. Yeah, there's an ant. Yeah, that's nice, big wood. Carpenter ant. So I'll try to do this without, I guess I could fire up my vacuum cleaner while I do it. See if that'll suck it up while I'm try to do these, you know, as quick as I can so people can see what they're dealing with, I guess. Oh yeah, right in my face. So I guess don't do it that way. Alright, so I blew that all out. And what I got over here is, so this is, these are on my website, have been for a while. I sell them on eBay, but it's a water pump kit. It's for a lot of these bigger size gear cases. Mercury gear cases. But yeah, it's a good kit, man. I even have this on my outboard, and I've had my water pump on there for a couple years now. And I may replace it this winter. It seems to be doing fine. I've been monitoring it, and so anyway, yeah, it's just it's a red. OBR Parts sells it. It's a Red Rhino kit. So like maybe it's not Mercury, but so it may not be Mercury, but it's really good pump. And I'm thinking the EMP must make this. I don't know if that's that GLF brand or what it is, but it's American made pump. And it comes with a really nice impeller. And it comes with all the goodies. You get a new tube. You get a new, housing. And you get all the stuff you need. And more stuff that you don't need. Like on a Mercruiser, there's the little seal. And which, you don't need that. And you got a couple other seals there that, anyway, you don't need. It comes with a plate and the gaskets, a bunch of different gaskets. So the first one we're looking for is this gasket. And, just dry it off a little bit, clean it up. If I got any corrosion, like right there was a little bit, or anywhere in here, what I'll do a lot of times, especially like on a dowel pin in the back, you probably can't see this, but there's a little dowel pin back here, so before I do anything, I just take a, some kind of brush or something and brush it off. I got bunches of different ones. This just happens to be a nylon brush. But, I just clean it off a little bit. And like on the bolts, on the studs for the bolts, I do take like something and just try to clean them up a little bit. And in a minute I'll take some grease and put some grease on them before I put it in anyway. A lot of times it kind of gets wiped off. Like here's a copper brush, so I'm going to just do this one because it looks like it had just a little bit of corrosion. You can see the dust flying off of it. I just do all these like if it was mine. That seems to be the only way to do it. And then, the more you do, sometimes like the better you get at it. And then on our shift shaft too, you can take, because you kind of got to get this stuff all cleaned up really before you do anything. But I'll put a little like this is just PV plaster, man. It's got a little thing to it. Anyway, and then, I still just kind of clean it off. Sometimes I have like a little brush. Now this is a steel brush. Just be careful with it. But yeah, I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit where the shift shaft is, or the shift is. Just makes it easier later on. Anyway, something like that. And of course, wipe it down when you're done. But you're leaving it in neutral. You're not doing anything crazy. And then also, like, when I get ready to put this back on, I don't know why I threw that back down there. Then we're going to clean off, you know, this up here. So we don't want to slide our new impeller and all that stuff. So I'll go ahead and clean it up real good. And like something like this too, like I can take a little bit of sandpaper. Yeah, that's not bad. And then, like I said, I'll grease that up real good. So, in the kit, this kit in particular doesn't come with a keyway. So make sure you don't lose your keyway. And then I've got what's left of a little tube of grease, and I just get a little bitty finger of it, put it up on the where my keyway is going to be. Which is down here. And I need to get my flashlight. Well, we're going to put our keyway in there. Keyway in. We don't have our gasket on yet. So, you know, that would be the next thing. Is we're going to go ahead and put our gasket. So, you know, I'm like, I got a little ahead of myself. So we'll just take this back off. So they send you a bunch of different gaskets. And that's the only thing that I can complain about is the fact they don't give you a keyway. But those keyways literally, like, I mean, they're never damaged. They're never rusted up, anything like that. So we're looking for this one, and we're looking for, like, how our dowel pins will line up. And sometimes, like, if you notice, we don't have a dowel pin here. And in the old one, they didn't either. So we don't know where that dowel pin went. It'll be okay. But anyway, this will be the first one that'll go on. You know, it's going to go on like this because we got to locate our dowel pins. And it just slides on here like so. And then try not to go at a crazy weird angle. Just go straight down. And then we're going to have a plate And the same thing, we're going to locate our dowel pins, so this plate has to go like so. And I guess this is where we'll stop because it looks like my battery is going to die. Alright, so we got the plate on, and we're just, like I said, you know, you're lining up your dowel pins and make sure it go down, sets flush, just like it's supposed to do. And here's one thing like I'm noticing right away. See this, there it is. Maybe part of that where they'd punched where they had made the punch for the hole. There might have been just like a little bit of debris. Anyway, I got that out of there. And then, so now we're like, we got to put this piece on. And that is going to be like this. Alright, we're going to line up our, again, line up where your dowel pin holes are. Put this down, and then just make sure it goes down flush. So now we're ready for the water pump. So now is where you can go ahead and put your keyway back in. And I don't know, you know, I never put a, you know, like a O-ring there. I don't know, I haven't never seen any designs where there was an O-ring at the bottom. Now, I've looked, and seems like before I pulled one off and there was one there, but I can't be sure. So we're not going to use all these O-rings, obviously. You know, these just don't really go anywhere, don't really do anything. You can look at our, you know, this is our housing. I'm sorry, folks, I'm just looking at this, you know, while I do this, but anyway, just put our impeller on, and just got to find the little location. And if you look at this, you know, it can't, like, it can go either way. So, like, there's your little groove, right? So you have access this way, and you have access this way. And there's no markings on there to indicate that you have to have it in any specific direction. All you have to do is just line up that notch and this, and it should go right on there. So, and voila, there you go. And then you're going to put your new housing on, and the new housing, you know, it doesn't require anything special. If you look at the old housing, you know, there's no piece of rubber in here or anything like that. But this is going to go in, go down. It's going to go like this. And then what I do is I have a tool that I can see. I mean, I can always look because I don't know. But I have either I'll put vice grips on a dry shaft, or I have a tool that can go right there. I just have to see which one it is, because I got a bunch of different ones. See, like this one won't. Yeah, well, that one won't work on there. Okay. So, if you don't have a tool, which, you know, is it's not, that tool's not really expensive, but you just take a pair of vice grips and And the only thing to know is you have to go clockwise. So this is always going to rotate clockwise. It's never not going to rotate the other direction. Then while you go clockwise, you're going to push down. And the other thing that I could do is just take some silicone spray, because this is neoprene. Won't hurt that gasket, because that gasket sees water. You're just going to line them up, push it down, and then we're just going to go down with it. And I'll show you. So yeah, there's my setup. You know, we got the vice grip up there, right? And then we got some silicone spray. Use silicone spray. Don't use like oil or like PV blaster, because then you break down the neoprene. Silicone spray is good on everything. It's good on electronics. I mean, it's good on everything. It doesn't conduct electricity, and it doesn't break down your rubber components. So we're just gonna, while we're turning this, we're gonna push down, and you'll feel it start to go. It's kind of hard at the angle that I'm doing it. Let me set you guys over here, because I'm like right-handed, you know. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, while I'm turning it, see, there it goes. And you know, if you look at the base of it, you can tell that you're essentially all the way down. And so it doesn't, anyway, it doesn't come with screws or anything. The kit doesn't. But you'd be hard pressed to find a Mercury kit with absolutely everything. And if you did, it's going to be a little over $100 for a Mercury kit. And I think, I mean, it's like up to like $125 now, I think, for this size anyway. And so this one, I want to say, don't quote me on this, but whatever it is on my website and whatever it is like on eBay, that's what it, like, that's as cheap. I mean, that's, yeah, that's what it is. You get the idea. So we got some parts left over. I keep them. I never use them. I've got a huge box of them. I even keep the plate just in case. I've never used it. Not once. So I don't know why I keep it. I guess because, you know, we're a part-time, whoa, part-time hoarder over here is what it is. So we got, this is our washers that for that, you know, 1/2 inch. It's going to go up front. This is our washer for these, I don't know what they're, 3/8? Is that what it was? 7/16? 7/16. And then we're going to be 7/16 bolts here, here, and here. And you know, like, I know this engine already pees, so I'm not too crazy worried about how do I say, not too worried about yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, I'm not too worried about like doing a flush. Sometimes I do those, like, you know, just so I kind of get that one going, and then I'm gonna go ahead, kind of run them all down even. And it's about like a that's about what I feel. For torque, sure there's some sort of torque value, but I don't know why I'm using this. And I'll notice like my gap back here, you know, like that's tight. I just want to make sure this is not rubbing into that housing, and if it is, like this one is torqued real tight, loosen it up a little. It's a lock nut, so it's not going anywhere. So yeah, that's way too much. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. I don't think that's getting in there. You know, I don't know. I mean, it seems a little weird, but it is sitting flush. Let's take a good look at it. I just make sure before I commit to it, you know. But I do think these can maybe, you know, just I'll check them. I don't want to go crazy. It's about right. There we go. That's better. That's probably what it was. And then I just test it and make sure, you know. Yeah. And then now that I got to put this one in, which is my, remember my 5/16. I usually do these kind of hand tight because they're the kind that's, yeah, that's fine. Alright, so then we got our new tube. And then the last thing is we have our new rubber piece. And that's going to go right on top of here. And this one helps too if you take a little silicone spray. Alright. And that, my friends, is... Now we can also put this O-ring at the base of this, so a lot of times I do this. This one did not have one, and I think it should. We'll put our O-ring about like right there. As we push this up, this will come down and it'll seal off the underside of our drive shaft, so that like we don't get any corrosion goes up into the power head. But like I said, I'm going to take some grease and grease this all up, grease all my studs up, and then it'll be ready to go back on the engine. But I don't know if I'm going to do that today. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow and jump onto another project. And so, yeah, so I don't think I'm going to do that today. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to jump over to another project, and anyway, hope this helps, and thanks for watching.